The boy Ash Ketchum finally won a league back in 2019 after 22 years, also becoming a champion in the process, which was such a magical moment in history to watch. However, with the brand new Pokemon Journey series giving Ash the goal to now become the strongest trainer in the world, what's next for him after this? Well, me, Lumio Stranazak, and the PokeRav discussed this in our WhatsApp group a couple months ago, and because of how well made our points were, I just decided to download the voice messages to turn into this video. There will be some background noise and microphone changes, but it's still all good to watch. But before we jump into that discussion, I do quickly want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Want to be the hero of your own fantasy? Enter the epic world of Teleria, where Dark Elves meet the Sacred Order and the Banner Lords are in an endless war with the undead hordes. Collect, equip, train and upgrade your team of heroes in order to start a journey of a lifetime. And the best part is that it's absolutely free to play and is available for both mobile and PC. What I like the most about the game is just simply that it's fun and addicting. I honestly didn't expect to have as much fun as I did when I first downloaded the game. Not to forget that the graphics are beautiful and the champions all have such awesome designs. Challenge yourself to the edge in the ongoing tournaments as well. Compete against the entire raid community while fighting the Spider's Den, Ice Golem's Peak, the Almighty Fire Knight or the Notorious Dragon. And now in Raid Patch 1.15, coming in May, you'll be able to compete in the brand new Arena Tournament. Earn points according to your tier and win awesome rewards in both local and global tournaments. So what are you waiting for? Go to the video description, click on the special links, and if you're a new player, you will get 100,000 silver and 1 free champion, Hexweaver. All this treasure will be waiting for you here. Good luck, and I'll see you there. Alright, with that said, let's now jump into this discussion. Let's go!
You know, it's interesting because I'm thinking about the anime and Ash, right? And like, of course, they never wanted to make him win a league because they don't know what they were gonna do with him, but now they figured out what to do with him. And they did the smart thing. They didn't fucking reset his character because it'll be dumb considering he's a champion now, right? But in this series, Ash is gonna be inspired to take on Leon after seeing him battle with Lance, right? So like, let's say that's the next goal for him, to like defeat Leon. He's not doing a league because he's already a champion, so now he wants to face other champions. And that's going to be the goal of this series for him. What happens at the end of the series? Let's say he reaches Leon and he doesn't win, or he does win. Either way, I feel like we're going to see Ash versus Leon by the end of the series. So it's like, what are they going to do with Ash now? Because he's starting to reach higher levels, and you know, like eventually there's going to be a point where you can't do anything with Ash. You're either going to have to age him up or like remove him as a main character, because since they're going to every region this series, when we get Generation 9, they can't do that anymore because they would have gone to every region already. And the only region that would be left is the new one. And they can't have Ash go back to doing gym battles and stuff like that. So it's interesting. Like I like what they're doing now, but with the way they're taking Ash, it seems like eventually there's going to be an end to his character arc. And eventually they're going to have to move on from him and move on to someone else. The only way they can keep Ash is if they end up making him lose a lot. But this series is showing that they're not gonna make him lose. They want to keep that consistency that no, he's a champion level trainer, he's been through a lot already, he's really experienced, so Ash can only really go up from here, which is good because obviously the champions are gonna be Ash's challenge, and obviously he's probably gonna lose to a couple of them. But like, what happens once he surpasses them? Because he eventually he has to. If Ash is facing strong trainers and champion level trainers, you can make him lose a lot just to like prevent him from growing more, and you know, keep the longevity of the series. But eventually you're gonna have to make him win, and what happens after that? So it's interesting.
Yeah, I was literally thinking about that as well. Like, at one point it is possible that we will finally be saying goodbye to Ash's character. It's a bit weird because obviously they kept him for so long because he's become this public figure of some kind. And now that he's won a league, he's just going to keep advancing. You can't really make him go down again. You can't keep this going on forever. And with official marketing, not calling Go a companion, but rather a double protagonist, it really does make me feel like Go might one day take over the anime. And it's also interesting because everybody, thanks to the English dub, thought Ash was going to capture every single Pokemon. But I guess that's not a part of what a Pokemon Master is after all. But anyway, because Go's got that, it's Ash's original goal. And once he's done that, I guess he can continue doing that in a new series. And then, maybe thanks to Ash, it'll inspire him to try and become a trainer or whatever. Or, they just leave his character alone. And we just see Ash's kid go to this new region or whatever. I don't know, seriously, it's got to be the ending point for Ash after Pocket Monsters. What can they do with him after this? It's so confusing.
I could totally see that happening, and because his goal is to catch every single Pokemon, we know Pokemon isn't going to end, and as long as they keep introducing new generations, there's always going to be new Pokemon and new Pokemon for Go to catch. So if there's a Generation 9, they can easily just take Go and make him go to this new region to catch whatever new Pokemon is there. You can keep going with him because his goal is so tied to the series and the franchise. Meanwhile, Ash, you can still do stuff with him, but eventually there's gonna be a stopping point because he can't really do gym battles anymore. It doesn't really seem that smart to make him do that now that he's a champion and stuff like that. So it's interesting. Since Go is supposed to represent the Pokemon Go fans, and that's the new thing now, Pokemon Go and everything. So Go's, I guess, supposed to represent the new generation of Pokemon fans, and he's gonna be their new protagonist when they eventually decide to, end Ash's story or stop using him. You know what I mean? I can also see the scenario that whenever this new generation gets revealed, Generation 9, this new series, Pokémon Star 2019, could be like the original series in the fact that it continues. There's no break in the series, and what I mean is in the original series there was no original series for Kanto and then a new series for Johto. No, Johto was part of the original series. The second generation was part of the original series. So what if this new series continues into Generation 9? It's just a new season where, okay, they find out about this other new region and that gives Ash and Go more adventures to do while they're still exploring other locations from older regions. Maybe they don't get to everything in every single region. What if in Generation 9 there's still a lot more locations they haven't been to yet, or there's new locations they want to introduce and create for older regions? Because look, they created the Dragonite Island. That's not canon to the games. That's an anime thing. We never knew that in the original series. I feel like they can keep making new locations and stuff like that just to have reasons for Ash and Go to go back to older regions. And then if Generation 9 comes, then we have a whole new region to explore. We're obviously gonna see Go try to catch those new Pokemon. It's very interesting now. The anime is so unpredictable, so it's weird. I'm racing with all these weird thoughts and theories.
Another thing that's been on my mind though is, well, remember how everyone thought there'll be a reboot? Oh, who knows? Maybe that will happen. Maybe they'll just fucking remake, I don't know, the original series or something like that. I don't know. It's just the Go thing is the most likely option, but everything's so unpredictable with the anime these days, though.
Oh my god. See, the thing with that is I can see that happening because the thing with Ash is that he's so important to the anime now that they can just use Ash Ketchum, the character, the concept of Ash, and form stories around him that don't really connect anymore. And I feel like the anime is sort of like that in a way. AU Ash from I Choose You and Power of Us. And they could just eventually just go to the point where they just make stories around Ash, but there's no continuity of oh, this is a continuation. It'd just be an adventure at one point in Ash's journey or whatever. Because that's what these movies feel like. They just feel like random events that happened during Ash's journey. We're not supposed to care about where does this fit in the timeline. We're not supposed to care about how does this fit with his goal. It's just, stories. They could go that route. If they what's annoying is I can see that happening where they can just end up deciding to remake the anime. I'd be fucking mad.
Yeah. Well, what would be better than just, using Ash the character just, even though that we might get a chance to see old companions return in this series, it'll only be for a couple of episodes. So what if they just made an entire new Pokemon anime series dedicated to every single character we've met? Just each episode is focused on a different character, One episode's Serena, one episode's May. Who knows, maybe we get to see Ash having a champion battle against someone. Just make a series dedicated to these characters after Ash is done or whatever, or something like that. I don't fucking know. There's so many possibilities this could go. But like I said, the go option's more likely, but it is also scary to think that with how the anime's been at times, the scary thoughts are also possible.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Like an anime that focuses on Ash's companions instead of Ash. So we see like what they're doing while Ash is doing something else. Yo, that would be so cool. Yo. I even got the perfect name for it. Yo, what if we called it Pokemon Chronicles?
Well, yeah, that is what I was alluding to. So heck of Pokemon Chronicles 2. Or who fucking knows? There's just a possibility that maybe the Pokemon anime will just end altogether. Production will be wrapped up. There'll be no more episodes about the Pokemon anime. But that's a possibility too, my bros. And then maybe they'll just stick to these YouTube shorts, or just make an entire new anime just based off the protagonist from the Pokemon games, finally.
You see, the thing with this point, is when is Pokemon going to stop? Now, depending on Game Freak, the amount of games they keep producing is most likely or will definitely coincide with the anime. Now, we're in Gen 8 at the moment, and depending on how long this anime series goes on for, we're bound to get the Gen 4 remakes and maybe another Gen 8 game, but who knows? It really does depend on the direction that Game Freak go in.
And you see, this is something I've been thinking about as well. You made a very good point about the games, Raph. The game industry really intrigues me. When will Mario die off? When will Pokemon die off? When will Zelda die off? Will they ever die off, or will they just be games forever until we're like in our 80s or something like that? And Pokemon will be like fucking 100 years old. Yeah, it would be 100 years old if I was 80. You see, well, we knew with the original series that there was an original end goal for Ash, but they had to stop that because of events, the advanced games, and then the same happened with cinema, and it just keeps going on and on because of the amount of games getting produced. So for us, it was like, oh, there's never going to be a real end goal for this anime. It's just going to keep going on until Pokemon dies out in the video game world. But now, it actually seems like for once that they managed to make an overarching story in every single series, despite not knowing it back then, to now finally wrap up Ash's character this time around, make it seem like a final conclusion to an epic anime storyline, like a long-running anime series like Naruto, for example, or One Piece or something like that. You got all these stories that seem to go on forever, but then now it's finally getting to the end point or something like that.
Honestly, I'm starting to lean towards the fact that it's possible that they might be setting up Go to be the next main protagonist, and then they might just end Ash's arc and send him off. Like he's like, oh, I have to go on this quest alone or whatever, and he leaves after he beats the champion or something like that. I don't know. It all depends on what they want to do. Like maybe the goal for this series is to make Ash the strongest trainer, become like champion level, and then maybe the next series they find something else to do. But it's like, what else is there to do? And I get that's the point of keeping Pokemon Master vague, so they can just keep doing whatever they want with him. But eventually there's got to be a point where it's like, all right, now that he's beat champions, where do you go from here? But with Go, it's much easier because he can just keep catching new Pokemon as long as Game Freak keeps creating new Pokemon. And as you've seen in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and even with the Sword and Shield DLC, like they're creating new Pokemon mid-generation now. There's always going to be new Pokemon, and I don't see the games ending anytime soon. So with Go, it's just easy. Just keep going at new regions to catch them all, And then he's never going to be done because we're going to keep getting new ones.
The thing with Pokemon as well, it's so formulaic. Only the past 2 generations have been sliding away from that, but still, it's still very formulaic still. It's slight differences, but still. That's what I mean, we got trials instead of gyms, because people are complaining about how Pokemon games felt the same. But then people complained about that, so they brought back gyms, but in a new kind of manner. And then they also added open world kind of areas because people were also asking for that. But still, the whole one button to use an attack, beat the league concept is still there. It's point A from point B, pretty much. So, yeah. But yeah, honestly, like we've said, I definitely feel like Go would be the most likely option because it's just with the marketing, pretty much. Like we've established, double protagonist. It just seems to put it in our face. But you still got to consider these other possibilities because you never know if they will change the decision within the next couple of years or whatever. You never know. All I can say, boys, is this is going to be an interesting 3 years. I thought Sun and Moon was interesting back then with not being certain of what's going to happen with Ash's future because of the whole Chaos League incident and the new approach to the series. But this is just 2 times more intriguing. And that concludes our discussion. What do you think of our points, and what do you personally hope will happen with Ash's character next? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you did enjoy this video, then please be sure to consider leaving a like, a share, and if you're new here, a subscribe along with hitting that bell icon to stay in loop with all things Pokemon anime related. Thank you for watching, everybody. This is Entity Maze, signing out.